here with Priscilla in front of Mother's house and still waiting. Priscilla, how are you doing today?
Great.
And how are you doing today and why?
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding, that's too deep. That's amazing. I'm really glad that you're doing great. I'm really happy for you. It's a wonderful day. 1000%.
Awesome.
Exclusive. We finally got the queen, the diva, the mother herself, Obia, Dali. This is episode 3 of Audio Therapy, and I have a very special guest with me. She is a queen. She is a goddess. She is a mother, and she is here to talk today. Tell us, Mother, what inspires you to inspire others?
Hi, I want to introduce myself. I also go by the name of Marley. I prefer the term they, but I'm a whole lot of things. Thank you for having me on your show, Abe. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm just so excited to be here with you today. It's an honor, as always. You are paving the way for so many people like myself to really go all out and do themselves to their original. How's that like you are one of a kind. There's nobody out there like you. So tell us, like, where does your uniqueness come from? How are you inspired?
Thank you so much. I think you're giving me a lot of credit. To answer your first question,
You deserve it.
the thing that inspires me the most is life itself. I think that a lot of the time we take our lives for granted, but life is a gift. You know, it took a woman to have sex with a man, or to desire to become pregnant, to go through the in vitro procedure in order for life to come. And as life arrives after 9 months of incubation within the stomach of a mother, life appears. So the point is, we should not take our life for granted, and life itself is my biggest inspiration. I'm very happy and thankful to be alive. I could have been dead today. Does that make any sense?
Yes, completely. I feel you. You know, there's definitely been some times where I didn't know if I was going to wake up the next day, but I'm glad I'm here today, and it's a reason why. You know, there's a reason why we're here.
There's a happiness to be alive. There is a greatness to be alive, you know. There's a greatness to be able to eat, to drink, to be free, to come and go. There are people right now that are in jail that understand that the concept of freedom, but those that are free sometimes may not truly fully grasp the concept. You know, sometimes you have to be deprived of things in order to appreciate the value of things, and I've been deprived of a lot of things in my life, which is where my aspiration and my drive comes from. You did ask me a second question. I don't quite remember, but I think it was
Your original style, like, where does it come from?
okay. Exactly. Yeah. Well, it just comes from myself. Growing up in a society where 95% of the people are Muslim, there are laws of the countries that you shall abide by, but these laws did not reflect who I was. I was trying to find someone to identify with, and I could not find anyone. There was no RuPaul where I came from. There was no Maya Angelou where I came from. There was only a Quran, a mosque, and the laws of the countries, the laws of your parents, and the laws of Islam. So I had to become more creative. I had to find me beside what society was telling me to be. So in order to do so, I had to come up with things. So my fashion comes from whatever inspires me, whatever makes me feel good. There are days that I can go out wearing the most beautiful gown, the most amazing pair of heels. Other time, I'm not so much feeling so feminine. I'll be wearing Jordans. I'll be sagging my pants. I do not want to feel
But it's still you.
It's still me. It's still part of me. I understand the masculinity and the femininity that exists in all of us. A lot of men, if you see a lot of group of men, they tend to prove to themselves their masculinity based on how many women they sleep with, based on how manly they can be, you know. And some of these men may have some level of femininity inside of them that they will never allow to explore. Maybe they want to grow their hair long. Maybe they want to pierce their nose. Maybe they want to start putting dark in their brow. But because of society's rule, they will never do so. When it comes to me, I don't care about what people think about me. I love myself. I think the love of my life is myself. And because I'm happy to be alive, I shall create and create and create the life that I want for myself.
Wow. Wow. You make me feel confident in loving myself too.
You make me feel confident and loving myself as well, because I want to give you your flowers. You are an inspiration. I always tell you that you remind me of some sort of hybrid yourself. You are very much a non-binary yourself. Wouldn't you say so?
I mean, I definitely have a very big femininity factor in my life, but I do identify as a man. Of course, that wasn't always the case, but we all change. I don't know. It might just be like my mind. Everything's just like what I'm going through. What I'm going through affects how I feel.
Yeah, I do believe that there's a movement right now that is coming alive, because people like me, there's a lot of gay men that are born that live their life as men, but in their heart and in their soul, they wish they were women. There was in the 70s and the 60s, there was a huge trans movement that took place, and it inspired a lot of people to walk within their own shoes. Then the drag queen movement elevated the game, supported by RuPaul. But now there's a new movement that is emerging, the non-binary movement. There are more and more masculine females and feminine men that are allowing themselves to push the femininity to the extreme. And that's what it's all about. It's really not about wanting to become a woman anymore. I do not identify as a woman. I do not identify as a man. I do identify as both, because I understand that I may have the genitalia of a man, but my soul, the way I feel inside of me, can be highly feminine. So who's to say that there's not a man out here that will enjoy being with a feminine man? There is a space for feminine men, which doesn't necessarily need to compete with feminine, normal, natural women. I believe that there is a space for us to exist, to be who we are, and to date straight men or men that are attracted to femininity, because masculinity and femininity is not related to the gender. Masculinity and femininity is an energy that fluctuates between the genders.
Yep, I completely agree. When I was identifying as a non-binary individual, it was like kind of like that big movement for me. Like, I was, as a man who was gay, still kind of like new out of the closet, I was discovering, like, I wanted to wear makeup. I wanted to put some glitter on my eyelids. That's the thing I wanted to do the most as a little kid. Like, when I was just like identifying as male, even just like early out of the closet, I didn't do that stuff. I wasn't able to. When I finally understood what non-binary was, I was able to label myself that, and through that label, I kind of freely did my thing, because now I wasn't a man. I couldn't be a man. I wasn't a woman. I was just Abe. And I saw myself like getting comfortable putting on makeup every single day as a non-binary individual. It feels good. It feels good. People call you little lady. People call you Miss Ma'am. Now I get sir, but I'm wearing my mug. So it feels good, because they recognize that now, like, the difference. I'm combining who I was with who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, I don't.
And then getting
it's fair to go around town pressuring people to see you for what you see yourself. I think that gender is something that exists. Biology is something that truly exists. Don't get me wrong, I do want to put disclaimers out there, because I've met some trans women that are fully passable. Like, I know trans women that when you see them, you see a normal woman. Trans women come in all shapes and sizes. They can be big and voluptuous. They can be skinny. They can look, they can have no breast, but there's also this movement of the Kim Kardashian wannabe trans that looks like a man will become a trans, and that is also a style that is out there. And a lot of these kind of trans do not speak for the fully passable trans women, because the truly passable trans women do not go around town claiming that she's trans. She's living her life as a woman. So now you have to ask yourself,
Are you a woman or are you trans?
Exactly. Are you a woman or are you a trans? Because I believe that a trans woman who become a woman is a woman. She's not a trans woman.
Period.
Now, do you want to become a trans woman that is going around fighting for other people to look at you as a woman? I do not do that in my life. When I wear a dress, I'm very conscious of my biology, but I'm also very conscious of my energy. My highly feminine energy is something that exists inside of me. So sometimes I do get sir and sometimes I do get ma'am. Whichever I get, I accept that because I do understand my biology. If someone calls me a man, I will not, fluster from it. I will just accept it. But if someone calls me a woman, I am flattered.
I think it's beautiful that we get to see people, and today I've never met a real trans person that I knew was trans.
That you didn't know was trans.
Yeah,
you
that I
never
didn't
met
know.
A trans person you didn't know was trans. They exist all around us. There are trans people, male or female, that are absolutely passable, and these people are not out here fighting for other people to call them a man or a woman because they are passable. They are living the life that they are living. Perhaps their partner knows about it, and that's about it. They don't have to disclose who they are at work. They are living within the gender of their lives. That is the kind of trans that that I respect, that I aim for. However, we need to understand that, especially male to female, there are real women that are out there. Not to say that trans women are not women. That's not what I said. I'll explain to you that a real trans woman do not identify as trans. She identifies as a woman and she passes as a woman. Because in society we have biology. When you see a man, automatically you know that's a man. When you see a woman, then you know it's a woman. So if you're a passable trans woman, so you will not claim that. But it's important for us, it's gonna mess my shirt. It's important for us to understand that in this life there are real women out there, and a lot of women having issues with trans. Yes. Is it?
That's actually a really good point to bring up.
Yes, like I know a lot of women that are having problem with trans women, but a lot of the trans women that they're having issues with are trans women that are not passable. So trans women that are not passable need to start asking themselves, what do we need from society? Do we need acceptance from society, or do we just need to just find a level of contentment within ourselves and live within that boundary, knowing that I'm going around, someone will clack me? Can you live with that? That's the problem. The problem is not, I do not believe that it's other people's. Yes, homophobia is something real, but you cannot help how someone is going to receive you. You can only control what you do. And now, myself, yes, I wanted to become trans. Yes, I wanted to live that life, but I have found love within the boundary of my own body. I have realized that, a lot of men.
That's beautiful.
A lot of men that are interested in trans women, they know already they are trans women.
Yes.
So it's okay for you to live within the masculinity or the femininity of your body. It's a beautiful thing, and this is the movement that we're working for right now.
That's kind of what I wanted to add on, is like there was a moment in my life where I was non-binary and I was like, what's next? There's always an evolution with Abe, but like I seriously, for about a week, I seriously thought I was a woman. I believed it. I felt it. I was like, I'm a woman. Like, I feel it. It has to be. My mind is so female, but I realized that, the person that I am today, after I got all that, after I got through the doubt and figured out what it was that I actually am, cause I want to get the facts straight. Like, I have a dick, and I love makeup. Does that make me female?
It makes you a feminine man. It's okay to be a feminine man. It's okay to be a masculine woman. It's okay to have space for you to express yourself, to feel the way you feel. It's okay for someone to feel as if they are feminine within their body, but it's not okay for you to demand other people to see you as the biology that they do not see. If they do not see the biology of you as a woman, you cannot force someone to do so. If they don't see the biology as a woman, if a woman is not comfortable being in the same restroom as you because you are not a passable woman, you do not speak for all the trans women in the world. You are one trans woman who made someone uncomfortable. At that time, you have to ask yourself, what can I do to redeem myself? What can I do to make this woman comfortable? What can I do for this woman to accept me?
I didn't think of
You have to show her who you are, show her your heart. You can only change people one heart at a time. But for you to turn around and to scream at that woman and to say that she's discriminating against you, I don't think it is a discrimination. She did not feel comfortable with you in her space because there is something called
And that's okay.
cisgender female. And that's okay.
There's so much more I need to say, and there's so much more that I'm sure we need to hear from you. So after I got through that phase, all my life, kids are so cruel. They're so cruel. I went to church, I was bullied. I went to school, I was bullied. I went to home and I was bullied. But anyways, during that time, it was a different time then, and I didn't know myself, but I was different. Everybody knew it. The kids would say, is that a boy, is that a girl? We don't know. Now I have to feel comfortable when people are like, oh, I think it's actually funny now when people ask me, is that a boy or is that a girl? Like, what do you think?
It's in the eyes of the beholder, and that is my point. Like, when people call me female in the street or they say yes ma'am, that is a trust, it's a respect factor that it choose to extend to me. If I present myself as a feminine entity and you can still see that I'm a man, and it comes up to your mind that okay, that might be a trend, if you choose to call me ma'am, I am flattered, but I will not chug you, or I will not make it an issue if you choose to call me sir. It has occurred many times that people call me
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
make it a big deal because I understand the biology of myself. I understand that maybe if I spend more time with this person, he will realize, oh my God, okay, you are just like a woman. You feel like a woman because of the soul.
But do
inside
you
of
look
me.
like a woman?
I do look like a woman. Okay,
You do, down
But
to the
I am
skin.
I'm not fully passable. I am passable, but I'm not fully passable. It's like I'm okay with what I am. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I am okay with creating a space for feminine men to exist. I think that it's a beautiful thing to be a feminine man. Why would I want to be a real woman if I can be a feminine man? Why would I throw myself in a dating pool of black women that are having issues finding a man right now, when I can be a feminine man and have 500 men for a ratio of 1, as opposed to throw myself in a pool that have a smaller ratio per man? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's beautiful to be a feminine man. There are plenty of men that will want to be with you.
Yes.
There are
Yes.
more men wanting to be with feminine men.
Shout out to Priscilla. Me and Priscilla had a very interesting first couple of days knowing each other, and she is a female who expressed interest in a feminine guy, so I appreciate her because I didn't even know that existed, but she let me know, and now I know that it exists. So I know that when I find that person, a person who wants to choose me for who I am, whether it's female, male, or not human, if they see you for who you are and love you for it, that's enough.
The point of this interview today is to empower young, aspiring feminine men to understand that there's nothing wrong with you, to tell you that, yes, we all want to be women, and yes, some of us can become passable women, but please understand that most of us will not become passable women. Most of us will go through that struggle of fighting society, and I do not want to fight society. I want to create a space where feminine men can exist.
Exactly.
And find their beauty inside of them, find their femininity inside of them, express their femininity through fashion.
We're setting the trend by doing it ourselves.
Mm-hmm. As you notice, I love to wear my kimonos. I love to wear clothes that are not necessarily targeting a male or a female. There's a way for you to express yourself that is gender neutral.
Non-gender.
Gender neutral to me nowadays is more important than
Genderless.
becoming a woman. Genderless or gender neutral or 50-50 gender is what we're aiming for. We want to give space for women to express themselves. We want to feel like we are hearing women, and all the possible women out there, all the possible trans out there will support you. You are real women, and I know you're not in the struggle, you're not even in the street fighting for these rights, because those that are fighting the right are those that are naturally happy. Happiness comes from inside. Be happy and satisfied with who you are. Find the love inside of yourself, and if society rejects you, who cares? Create a space for you to exist without necessarily making other people feel like they have to adjust for yourself. I do not ask anyone to adjust for myself. I just create my lane. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So much for this interview.
Thank you so much. I wanted to just like end this interview by saying, like, you know, follow Obiatali on Instagram.
Yep,
follow
my
her.
Instagram is Marley's Freedom. It's Marleys Freedom. I go by Obiatali and Marley, and I will follow you back. I'm also reading tarot card. If you want to do a tarot appointment, please send me a DM. I'm always on the lookout, and I will get back at you.
As you guys always know, the link will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Audio Therapy, or listening in that matter of fact. This has been Abe the Babe, and signing out. I love everybody. Bye.